The Cleveland Browns are coming to London. I'll see you there. Hey guys, just wanted to hop on here for a quick video reacting to the news that I'm sure you all by now know. I wasn't planning to do a video this evening, so if you could probably tell by the very quick, and I'm sorry, it is an AI thumbnail, but I didn't really have time this evening to be doing thumbnail edits, so I thought, why not? But, you know, I, along with most of you, out of nowhere today, was hit with the news that my Cleveland Browns, your Cleveland Browns, will be playing in the 2025 London games. They will be one of the home teams. That's all we know so far. We obviously don't know the opponent yet, won't know who we're playing until the schedule comes out. But it would be pretty silly of, you know, the person that refers to himself as UK Browns NFL, UK Browns fan on the socials, to not come on here and obviously give my initial reaction to this news. So, you know, just wanted to say obviously how excited I am, how excited the UK Browns community is. You know, I've said it multiple times. It does surprise a lot of people, but the Cleveland Browns are well represented over here in the UK, and I can't wait to show that next year. Well, this year, actually, technically, but next season, obviously in London with the London games. This will be the second time that the Cleveland Browns have played in London, the first time being back in 2017. I'm pretty sure it was a 33-16 loss against the Vikings. Correct me if I'm wrong. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the game back in 2017. I was a very, very broke uni student that had no chance being able to afford to not only get down to London, but then be able to pay for the ticket and watch the game. So this is the first opportunity for me to see, obviously, the Cleveland Browns in London. It's going to be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. For any American listeners wondering, that is the better stadium of the two. Wembley might be the more famous stadium, but as someone that has been to Wembley, I haven't been to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I've got, God, that was a tongue twister, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I've got plenty of friends that have been, seen the, obviously the pictures and stuff. It's a much more modern, I mean, it's arguably one of the better stadiums in the world right now, just because of how much money they spent on it and how modern it is. Whereas Wembley being famous is, it's kind of like the Cleveland Browns Stadium a little bit. There might be some leaky roofs, there might be some wonky toilet seats. So, you know, the Browns did get the better of the two stadiums. In my opinion, I think it should be a better experience at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So again, I just can't even put into words how excited I am for this. Just such an amazing, you know, chance for me, myself, as well as all of the UK Browns community, you know, to show the NFL world that the Cleveland Browns are a global fan base and we are well represented over here in the UK. Just cannot wait for it. As well, I believe, I might not be 100% accurate with this reporting, but I do believe that there is a chance that the Browns could be one of the teams that actually play twice in London for the back-to-back. I know probably the majority of the Cleveland fan base over there in the States wouldn't be too pleased about that, and I completely understand why, especially if it was two home games. I mean, that's taking two home games away from Cleveland, which, to be honest, I don't think is fair. But as a selfish British Browns fan, two games, of course, would be just, you know, double the cherry on top of what already is such exciting and amazing news. As I mentioned, we don't know too much. I mean, you guys probably know as much as I do at this point. All we know is that we're one of the home games, one of the home teams, that will be representing, you know, in London this next season, 2025. So there's not really too much I can talk about as of now. This is more so just kind of getting the news across, giving my excitement because if you can't tell, I am incredibly excited. I mentioned earlier, this was news that just came out of nowhere. If I'm totally honest, I didn't even think about it. We all probably remember the past off season when the Browns were in the running to be one of the away teams coming to London, and when it was announced that they weren't, I must admit it was a bit of a gut wrenching, punch in the stomach for me, because as someone that was really looking forward to, seeing my favourite team in person, and obviously that didn't come to fruition. So then for this year, I mean, I've literally finished work, was about to clock out of work, and the notification came through on my phone, and then followed by about 50 DMs and messages of obviously people excited to share the news with me and talk with me about it. And it was just as I said, a complete shock. Not even something I've even thought about at all since last off season. So to just see the news that my favourite team is coming to the country where I live. I won't give my address away on the internet, but I'm not too far away from London. Not quite London, but not too far away. So, should hopefully be able to make a fairly easy trip down there. As we start to set the motions, I'm sure, some people over in the States, Browns fans in the States, if they're travelling over for the game, of course, I would love to interact with as many fans as I can when it does come to it. So, get in touch if you are someone that plans to come over from the States. If you're a British fan listening, you live in the UK, you're planning to go to this game, as I said, drop me a message. You can always find my social medias in the descriptions of the videos, in my YouTube channel, bio description. You can find all the links there. Let's start setting the motions in place, and even though we don't know the full details yet, it'd be great to obviously, connect with as many Browns fans as I can at the time of it, and leading up to it. So as I said, if you're planning to come, even if you're just planning to be around and not even go to the game or whatever, give me a message, and we'll try and sort something out. And I'm sure over the couple months in this off season, we can organise something and hopefully have a meet up and meet as many Cleveland Browns fans as we can. As I always say at the end of my videos, I'm trying to build a community of Browns fans here. I love interacting with you guys on here every week and talking Browns football with you guys. So, what better to talk Browns football and share those experiences in person, in real life, over a pint, over a glass of water, J2O, whatever your preference is. It will be awesome, and something I'm really looking forward to. So just wanted to obviously give my thoughts on this. I'm so excited for my team, to watch my team, obviously, of course, in the UK. A part of me kind of wants an easy game so we could see the Browns win, but then the other part of me thinks, just give us an AFC North matchup, because, boy, would that be fun to watch. But as I said, just wanted to give my thoughts. Can't wait for the game. Can't wait to meet as many Browns fans as I can. So, yeah, as I said, if you're planning to come to this one, whether you're coming from over the States, whether you're coming from Germany, whether you're coming from China, whether you're coming from anywhere in the globe, Antarctica, give me a message, and I'm sure we can try and organise something, whether it's before the game, during the game, or after the game. But yeah, can't wait for the game, and of course, even more importantly, can't wait to meet all you guys, as many Cleveland Browns fans as I can. It's going to be an amazing experience. Thanks to the NFL for giving us this chance. I know a lot of other fan bases, a lot of other people might be scratching their head thinking, why, this is quite a bad lineup of teams going to London. I think it's Jacksonville, Tennessee, and obviously Cleveland, three teams that weren't exactly great last year. If I wasn't a Browns fan, I might be thinking the same thing, but hey, I'm a Browns fan, you're a Browns fan, I hope. So of course, this is great news for us. So just wanted to give my quick reaction, and yeah, awesome stuff, exciting stuff, can't wait. Also, I think I was going to do like a news video, but I thought tomorrow, but I thought I might as well just kind of cover it, touch on it. There's not too much to really go over. But just at the end of this one, some things that have happened in the last, couple of these things in the last hour, but some of it in the last week. So first and foremost, Deshaun Watson, as you will probably know by now, we spoke about the setback that he suffered last week. I did a video on it. I will link the video because, to be honest, nothing's really changed. What I said in that video still applies now. But yeah, so he's ruptured his Achilles again. That is what the setback was. So his 2025 season is over, even though we kind of already knew that anyway. Even if he was healthy to come back, they'd have probably kept him on the the PUP list anyway. But now he won't even be able to come back. As I said, I explained in my previous video on this. I don't think this changes anything. He will be on PUP all year. They will not activate him off that list all year. They will then either restructure him, cut him post-June to 2026, or they might not even restructure him because of the 44 million that they will now 100% get in insurance for his 2025 salary. They might not even have to do the restructure and just do the post-June cut anyway. So obviously, I don't think this news changes anything in regards to how the Browns move forward with Watson. But I think it just basically guarantees that injury insurance, and also guarantees that Watson will never play another down of football for any team in any league again. Something I'm sure none of you are too bothered about anyway, myself included. So this might appear to be big news to a lot of people. It's obviously being reported as such, but to be honest, I think it is just business as usual with the Browns. How they operate is going to be the same regardless. But I do just want to touch on one thing, which is obviously the situation surrounding where he suffered this injury. I did think it was quite interesting that in their statement, talking about this injury, the Browns statement that they posted to their socials, they specifically mentioned that he did suffer this, re-rupture of his Achilles outside of the team facility in Miami. As I'm sure most of you might know, in the NFL, there's a lot of language in contracts that basically outlines that if you get injured, a serious injury outside of the team's facility with nothing to do with football, that can be your guaranteed money voided. I haven't seen Deshaun Watson's contract. I've seen parts of it, the parts that were leaked, of course, that I'm sure you guys have seen as well, but we don't know the exact language in the contract, so this is not something I'm going to report on or try and tell you is truth. But I do think it's an important note to think about, that, of course, that's a very, very common thing for NFL contracts, is that, guaranteed money and all of that stuff is forfeited if that person injures himself not playing football away from the team facility. And obviously then with the Browns very, very specifically mentioning that he suffered this injury away from the team facility, it does make you think that maybe that language did exist in his contract. So, potentially we might be looking at not just 44 million in insurance relief. We might be looking at more than that, depending on obviously the language of the contract. But as I said, this is not me reporting. This is just my kind of speculation. And of course, when we do get more news about it, I'll try and talk about it as best as I can. I might be wrong, I might be right. Just thought it was a very interesting little tidbit to see the Browns put that message in there within the messaging of Watson re-injuring himself. But he's retore his Achilles. But as I said, I don't think it changes too much in regards to how the Browns operate going forward. He's still going to be on PUP list all year, and then they will designate him as a post-June cut for 2026, and we'll kind of wipe our hands clean with the Watson era, and move on from him, and pay the whatever it costs to do so at the time. So that's what I think will happen, in my opinion. That's the Watson stuff. I do just want to quickly obviously touch on the fact that the Browns have hired a new coach. former Rice University head coach Mike Bloomgreen. They have hired him as their offensive line coach. This is obviously after Andy Dickerson was sacked, rightfully so in my opinion. Don't think he had a very good year. Don't think he did anything to justify coming back next year. The run game was pretty bad. The O-line was pretty bad. Just not great work out of Dickerson. So to see him replaced so quickly maybe makes you think that this is something they had lined up already, because it was literally within days of Dickerson being fired that they hired Bloomgreen. So that was interesting. It was one of the first things I thought about. I'll be totally honest. I don't know too much about Mike Bloomgreen. I do watch college football, but I am pretty Ohio State centric. It's quite rare that you'll see me watching Rice football games. I say rare, it's never happened. So, I'm not the most 100% knowledgeable person on this guy. I'm not going to sit here and do a 20-minute video, just making stuff up through my teeth and just basically, rinsing what someone else has said about him instead of my own opinions. All I really know about him is that he was with the Jets under Callahan. Obviously, Callahan, one of the greatest, offensive line coaches in NFL history. You think about what Bill did for us during his time here. Is that the thinking? Obviously, the talks about, us going back to the previous offense under Kevin Stefanski, a more West Coast steam. Maybe that's the thinking behind it. Obviously, Callahan was successful with Kevin under that steam. Get someone in that's got a similar philosophy, similar way of operating, I would assume, and that's kind of the logic behind it. But when we do the more offensive coordinator hire and stuff like that, I probably will do a bit more of a dive into Mike Bloomgreen just to make myself more familiar with him as well. But at the minute, as I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is an amazing hire. He's going to revolutionise our offensive line. I don't really know too much about him, but if he's got anything like Callahan, then I'm sure he will be a success here. But as I said, I might touch a bit more on him when we do a video talking about offensive coordinator candidates, or if before I get that video out, the way that they're going, they hire someone in that obviously reaction video, I might just touch on him a bit more then. But obviously, just wanted to mention it now. And finally, wide receiver. I think is wide receiver assistant coach. She's had a numerous amount of roles over the last 5 years, but Callie Brownson. Browns coach, female coach, one of the few female coaches in the NFL, is leaving the Browns after 5 years to join USA Football with some kind of, I think it's like a senior role, general manager type role. I might be wrong, but it's not just a coaching role. It seems to be quite a high level role for her. Really happy for her. I know a lot of people have made the jokes, obviously, with her being involved in that wide receiver room, and some of the bad things we've seen out of that room in the last few years. I think she has got the brunt of some of those jokes. Personally, for me, it's just been awesome to see a female coach in the NFL, especially for my team. Obviously, it's more common now than it was 20 years ago. Thankfully, I think Callie's done a great job at the Browns. She's represented the Cleveland Browns, to the highest standards. She went and coached the USA flag football team last year to a gold. I think that was against Great Britain actually in the final, which was quite surprising. But she's quite clearly a good coach. She didn't get to where she was by just being given it. She got there by working hard and being good at what she does. And this is why she's been given this opportunity now. So, as I said, really happy for Callie. Awesome for her. Awesome for female coaches within the sport. Awesome for just females overall within the sport. We want to make this game more inclusive. We want to see more people involved in this game. I don't care what you look like, who you are. If you know about the game, and you're good at your job, then you deserve a place here. And I think that's what Callie has proven during her 5 years at the Browns. So credit to her. Good luck to her in the future. And I don't think the Browns will probably hire a replacement, as she was more of just an assistant role anyway. Obviously, Chad O'Shea being the leader in that of that wide receiver coaching staff. So, but we'll see. I think that would do it for me today, guys. As I said, I wasn't actually planning to do a video today, but with the really exciting news that the Cleveland Browns are coming to the UK, where, if you haven't guessed by now, is where I reside. Really happy. So I just thought I'd just jump on here and do a video. And as I was doing the video, I thought, why not just cover the few news bits that we've had this week as well. But anyway, that would do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like my content, please hit this video a like, hit the subscribe button. It's free and it really helps out my channel. You can also hit the links in the description to see where you can follow and interact with me on social media. As I always say, I'm trying to build a community of Cleveland Browns fans, and even if I only get to talk to one fan a day, I'm happy, because I'm talking Browns football with the best fan base in the world. Have an amazing week, guys, an amazing weekend. Completely forgot it was a Friday just then. So, yep, have an amazing weekend, guys. Enjoy the news. I know some people have had some negative reactions to it, but I'm sure most of you are happy, for our team to go over to London and represent the NFL, represent Cleveland. So, as I said, if you're interested in coming over, or you're already in the UK and you wanna sort something out, give me a DM and we'll try and sort something out. But as always, guys, go Browns.